up, everybody? We are gonna check out the solar system here for sustainable living in Alaska at Callaghan Island. All right, so I'm here with David, and we're gonna just talk about the solar system here. So, David, what can you tell me about the solar system here?
Well, these 8 panels I bought in Phoenix. I drove them up the Alaska Highway. And I brought them here, and you see how they're installed as lean-to on this building. And the reason is because there's a lot of wind here. And if I put them high, then they would be blowing away. So, the reason I put them back here, even though we use a lot of electricity up at the cabin, is because the air is a lot saltier right beside the beach. And so, from these 24-volt panels, they all feed into a collector box. And so they're paired. So there's 8 panels, and so I've got four little breakers. And from there, we go inside the building to the controller. From the collector box, it goes to the controller, then through a breaker, and then to feed the batteries. The batteries are 6-volt golf cart batteries. So there's 2 series of 6. There's 4 that are 6, and then another 4 6 volts. So it's a 24-volt system. And then from this, it goes up to the inverter to change it from DC electricity to AC. So right now it's doing good. It's 28.5 volts, which is because it's sunny outside. It's getting quite a bit. So those solar panels were, many years ago, they were $200 a piece. And the golf cart batteries are $80 a piece. So there's 8 of them. $600 there. The controller was $600. The inverter is $350. Really good. Cheap inverter, but it does a very good job. And then this extension cord goes all the way to the cabin. This thick copper extension cord, it's 10 gauge, and it has to be that thick to go that far and not lose a lot. Here's the other part of it. It's a 24-volt charger. So you run across times when it's cloudy for 3 or 4 days and your batteries are running out, so you have to run the generator. There's no way to go totally alternative. So mainly we use for our freezers, we can run 2 freezers and put our salmon and halibut and other products that we make for the winter. And then inside the cabin we've got some LED lights. And it's pretty basic. One thing that you learn when you start going with alternative energy is you don't use as much. And then you decide when to use it. So I can run power tools and stuff on a sunny day. But if it's not a sunny day, then I can't. On a sunny day, the batteries can't hold all the electricity that's created. And so a lot of it's just wasted. So you start to plan your activities around when you can do it, you know. Yeah. So that's my solar system. The thing is that I don't know anything about electricity, but I put it together just by carefully following directions when I turned it on, I expected a little puff of blue smoke to come out and that to be all. But then it worked, and it's worked now for 12 years. So, do you have any questions about that?
You mentioned earlier about the salt water. Can you elaborate on what you meant by that and why you chose to put the solar panels here?
I kept my tools in a shed that was near the ocean, right beside the beach. And what I noticed is all my hand tools were just going to rust. And then I kept some tools back here, and it's not very far from the beach. It's maybe 100 yards back from the beach. And the tools I kept back here lasted a long, long time before they rusted at all. And so that's why I decided to put the solar panels back here, because there's a lot of connections and fittings, and I didn't want that salt air eating all those connections.
Do you have any plans to improve, upgrade your solar system, or expand it?
You know, I'd like to improve it, but you know, the battery systems are more hoopla than hero. And it turns out these old golf cart batteries last 10 years. And they're way more economical and efficient than the other battery systems aren't there yet. It's a lot of hype. So I would love to. That's the weakness on these solar systems is the batteries. I'd love to have batteries that were more reliable, but I don't think it's on the market.
And then I noticed that there's a generator right here with a cord that's connected to the control panel. Is that correct?
No, the cord is connected to the charger. And so if I'm out of electricity, if the batteries are getting low, I'll charge them. And then at the same time, I will plug the freezers straight into the generator. So then nothing's drawing on the batteries except for cell phones and stuff in the house. And it's charging at 30 amps. When you get towards September, or especially October, you have to run the generator for an hour a day. It gets cloudier, and then the sun rises slower, and it's blocked by the trees over there. And so I had a choice to start cutting down all the trees or buy a charger. But I'll just say that people who think that we're ready to go to alternative power and live that way, yeah, they're dreaming. It's really cool, and it's good, and I like it, and I use it, and I know that it doesn't do everything. So, look at my wires. Get a good look at just all wires going everywhere, different colors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a ground. It's a long piece of copper driven into the ground just under the building. Some of the wires go to the ground. They go here, they go there, and if just one connection somewhere gets corroded, the whole thing doesn't work. So every year it gets a bit scrubbing. Every connection has to be inspected.
All right. Well, thanks for showing us your solar system. It's awesome.